Welcome everybody, it's Kim from the Voice Club. I've got a great question today. It's actually kind of an observation with a question. Anyway, we're going to talk about hyperrange, the highest, most unusual part of the range, which is whistle. If you have questions while I'm live here, make sure you post them below. And number one, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for those of you who are in our Facebook group. We really appreciate you. We also have some Voice Club Academy members in this group as well. I've got something special at the end for both of those groups so that you can get a little heads up on what Whistle's all about. But this is going to be fun. First off, I want to thank a couple of our new members. They're coming so fast, I can't say it. So thank you. Samuel, I like you too much to try to pronounce your last name. And the other two, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your names because, again, I like you. But we've got one from Lagos State University, you know who you are, and from another one from Nigeria. I've got a few from Nigeria. Well, if you're new, you know who you are. Welcome to the Voice Club Facebook group. The purpose of this group is to encourage other singers. It's really hard to find that as casual to a professional singer. It's hard to find that anywhere. This group is so that we can get educated, we can ask questions, and also so that we can support other singers, and they in turn will support us. It's really a cool thing to have. So I got a question from our other latest member, which is Joran Jones, a name I think I can say, right? That's why I waited on you, Joran, because yours is the question that I'm asking today in our live video. So Joran says, I've heard that countertenor is not an innate ability, and singers that have developed it were often considered baritones or basses. How do I develop a countertenor level head voice? Okay, so we have a lot of terms in there, and some of them don't go together. This happens so much in vocal teaching, and if you're a student at all of the Voice Club, you know that not that I don't know what the words are, but I refuse to use vocalese, vocal pedagogy terms, because I went through every training there was, and I can promise you that learning all those words never made me a better singer. Matter of fact, I had to figure out everything without any of those words. So we're going to take these terms and just tell you what the root of it is, because that's really all that matters. It doesn't matter what things are called. Okay, so tenor, guys, you know, it's kind of like the high voice for the guys, right? Bass is the bottom. And if someone's telling you that countertenor is coming from baritones or basses, which is basically the guys that sing the two lowest parts, and Jordan, I gotta remember to send you to a video. I'll post a link after I'm done with this video. I'll post a link to another video I did on our MIS soprano, alto, tenor, bass, because this will clear up some of that for you too. Okay, so what you're talking about in a countertenor is basically the male whistle voice. Female whistle voice will start at about the F above the high C. For women, that, you know, the high C is like, oh, I'm a great soprano, I'm a first soprano, I can get all the way up to there. If you got 4 notes more, that is the beginning of whistle range. For the guys, the beginning of whistle range really starts right about where the first soprano is. Sometimes a little bit lower. You'll know it when you get there, trust me. Okay, so he's heard that it's not an innate ability. So let's just go first of all with you have to know that soprano, alto, tenor, bass, counter, this or alto, whatever, are just classifications. So we're just gonna wipe those out and let's just talk guys and girls, because our ranges are a little different, okay? Some guys are more comfortable down low, some guys are more comfortable up high, and they'll sing a lot of the currents like Maroon 5, that kind of stuff. And of course, recently we probably both saw on America's Got Talented, the guy that had the big whistle range. So let's take a look at why that happens and why it can or can't, will or won't happen for you. As a quick reminder, guys, I think, oh, Faith is here. Good, you can ask a question, Faith. Exactly what is whistle? Okay. It's the high, super high range. If we go through, those of you who are familiar with this Academy members, you'll know this, the different bridges that we go through and the notes that are between them. It's basically just another foreign island that's way off of the horizon for most voices. So let me explain. Whistle is, your vocal cords zip up, and when they're closed like this and they begin to zip, this is at the bottom of your range, and they're thicker at the bottom, just like your hands, and thinner at the top. Some people get to the top, and when they get to the top, the cords actually thin out really a little extra more. There's an anatomical component, but there is another component too. So anatomically, if your vocal cords aren't short and stubby and big and hunky chunky like mine, So my laryngologist says. If you have cords that are thick and they get thin, and then they have another extra section that is extra thin, you are more likely to easily get into whistle, because whistle is when we get to high notes, if we can, with very, very minute cord closure, which means tiny, tiny little bits of vocal muscle, if we can allow that last little tiny bit to press together up way high, high, high in that little extra little flap of vocal cord you have up there, the result is whistle. Now, if you play an instrument, or you've ever heard like a guitar when they play what they call a harmonic, you know, ding, and it goes up super high, this is the harmonic of the voice, basically. People love to, people want it, people want to sing it. And I've got some videos I'm going to share with both of the groups about students that are doing it, and kind of some deeper instruction I gave them, because this is a subject we all want to know. I wanted for a long time to get whistle. And then I was talking to a friend of mine, an associate. She had trained with an instructor since she was 15. So at this point, she had been training constantly for 15 years. And she said one day she was out singing at a show and whistle just popped out. And then it just like was there from then on. What was the case for her? It's that some of us, not all of us, but probably more than we think, are able to get there because the vocal cord has what it needs, but we don't know how to access that part. So we have to have basically control over the muscle that controls how much cord gets closed and when. So because it needs to have just the lightest little bit of touch and really good control for it to go there consistently. So two things. You have to have the anatomy, which I believe probably more of us have it than not. I know that I don't, just because I've been scoped in the vocal cords so much. And they go, whoa, look at those chunky, thick little vocal cords. That's why I talk like a man. So if you have normal vocal cords, you probably do. The second part is sometimes we get up there, sometimes it'll pop out, oh, there's a high note. Where did it come from? But we don't know how to get it back. And that's what muscle training does. That's good muscle training, good technique. That should do that. Be able to teach you how to press in with a super light mix or a super heavy mix. You should have control of each whenever you choose to, not whenever it pops out of your mouth. Once you have that, then you get really good into mastering, letting go a little of the muscle, a little bit more until it releases. That's the process of it. So you probably do have an anatomical, I'm going to say, you know, I probably, from what I've seen, I think probably 2/3 of people could get there, but just don't know how to access it. The second part is why. Why do you need a whistle range? This is what I came to as a vocal instructor after being a professional singer. I was like, yeah, I want that. Yeah, give me that. I mean, Kelly Clarkson didn't even pull her whistle out till like the last song. I mean, they were like, what? Where did that come from? She should have done it at the beginning. They put her right through. Luckily, she made it anyway. But whistle is like jewelry. It's actually like a big giant diamond necklace. It's very precious. It's worth a lot to a lot of people, and everybody wants it. But you can't wear a giant diamond many places. So you've got it. Everybody wants it, but you can't wear it. You can't take it out anywhere. So whistle is hardly ever appropriate in a song. And when you pop it out there, people go, oh, and they're amazed by it because most of them don't know how to get it or can't get it. But you can only use it a couple little times. Mariah made a career out of it. That's why we all got really familiar with it. So if you want whistle, yeah, there's a way that you can get there. Nobody knows how long it'll take. And at the end of it all, if you had somebody scope your visual vocal cords, they could actually tell you if your cords are long enough and thin enough to anatomically do whistle. I've had some great opportunities to work with some vocal surgeons, laryngologists that specialize in singers. So we're talking about a lot of the different vocal cords they see. That's what I'm basing my opinion on about how many people I think can get into whistle. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is the thing though. I wanted to share with all of you, especially Joran. I don't even know if I'm saying your name right. I don't know. You'll have to let me know. This is really fascinating. Okay. Everybody, what is a good range? Does anybody know what a really high range is? Like a big, good range of notes? If you're here, and paste that in right now, just type it in and say, I think a really wide range is X. Is it 1 octave? Is it 2 octaves? Is it 3 octaves? Some people do 3 octaves. So here's the deal. The United States national anthem covers 1.5 octaves. It's really one of the hardest songs to sing because, Faith thinks 3 octaves. Oh, Faith, I'm about to surprise you. National Anthem covers that 1.5 octaves, but it covers all of the notes in the middle of that 1.5 octaves, which are the hardest parts for us to sing. Technically, in the second bridge, we just call it the bridge because it's the one that shows up all the time and messes up your song. So 1.5 octaves, most people can't sing it. 2 octaves, most people think they have a really great range. All of our singers at the Voice Club have at least a 3-octave range. Faith, you are absolutely right. We make sure you get 3 octaves. I believe you're probably up. I bet if I assessed you right now, I bet you're just a little bit over 3 right now, especially if you do what I just texted you about doing in your workout. And very rarely someone will say I have 4 octaves. A lot of times they're not assessing what the range really is. It doesn't mean the highest note and the lowest note. It means, can you access and sing on every single note throughout all of those octaves? That's a game changer. A lot of people that claim they have a 4-octave range, they're out at that point if you really test them. But here's something that's not false. There's a guy only in 2008. His name is Tim Storms. He's in Missouri, and he just got the world record, Guinness World Record in 2008 for the largest vocal range. They tested him the right way. His vocal range is 10 octaves. Now, this is really rare. This is an anatomical thing, just telling you. This is, he's able to access them. That's the training part, but he has to have the anatomy to be able to do that. So he's going from basically a G or G sharp on bottom end to the top. 10 octaves. That's more than your Steinway grand piano. What? I know. No way is right. It's crazy. So he also has, here's the interesting, because you can 10 octaves, it's off the charts, it's off the keyboard. His lowest note is the lowest vocal note on record of any singer the Guinness World Records has ever done. So now we've never heard about this guy. He's not on any singing show. He's not a big star anywhere. Why? Because you just don't need 10 octaves. It's cool to have. It'd be cool to have the plaque in your house and show grandma world record. Oh, I mean, it's cool, right? But functionally, as a singer, I was a professional singer. I never needed a whistle one time. I did all sorts, every genre that's out there. Only rap once. And the ones who've seen my rap video, you know what I'm talking about. The rest I haven't. I'm so sorry you missed it. So, can you get whistle? There's 2 things that will determine it. Yes, I will post this. And Jordan, hey! You need to put up a video of one of your songs for me, okay? Because I answered your question like right away after you joined. So I'm just saying you own me, right? Right, buddy? Okay. So 2 things that go into whistle. You need to have the anatomy that is able to do it. That just means you need to have what vocal surgeons really think of as more of an average vocal cord length and thinning. If you want to know how long your vocal cords are, look at your thumbnail bed from where it just starts at the skin to where the skin stops and goes into the nail at the top. That length is different in every person, and that length is the length of your personal vocal cords. I know, right? And your vocal cords can do all that? That's crazy. But you need the anatomy to be at least normal. Sometimes they say a little, even if they're not as thick, but extra long. That makes it really good too. You'll hear girls are easier doing this, especially when they're younger. And then we have to build it into them as they get past puberty because the vocal cords and the muscles change too as they grow. And then sometimes they can lose it. The access is a little harder when everything else matures. So we have to teach through that. And actually, I have for you guys, I have a video for each of you to show you what I mean. But first, any questions besides, I'm going to check real quick. If you have a question while you're here with me, pop it in right now, 30 seconds. I'm going to go through them all and answer your questions. And if you like this post, share it. I think you can share it beyond the group. I don't know. Anyway, I have for you, if you're part of our free Facebook group, if you'll go to The Voice, don't go yet. Don't go. I need to read your questions. If you'll go to thevoiceclub.com/whistle, that should be easy to remember. There is what I talked about today, the 2 conditions that need to be met in order to get into whistle, which, by the way, I hadn't sent it, Jordan. I'm sorry. But counter tenor is just the classification that they give the male whistle. It means the exact same thing. That's why the words don't matter. It's super, super high extra voice. For the guys, girls, it's the same thing. But they like to give it a special name because people feel very smart. That's why I decided all I needed was to just make up my own names for everything. I got names now, right? Now I'm smart. And I don't have to learn any of that other stuff that never helped. Anywho, if you're a Facebook free group member, you can go there and find that. If you're a Academy member of the Voice Club Academy, by later today, there will be a link on that page to some extra special training stuff I have for you on Whistle. I've set that aside. I just got to get all the links to link up, all that stuff. Okay, let's answer your questions. See if anyone's got any. You're just all amazed. No way. Jeez, yes. Post this video. Well, I'm going to do that. That's why I do this. Okay, Jordan says, oh, challenge, Jordan. Jordan says he's got 3 octaves. Okay, Jordan. I don't know if I'm saying your name right or not, but now it is that because I've just said it so many times that everybody knows you as that now. This is my challenge to you. I want you to warm up however it is that you warm up. And then I want you to take the word nay, N-A-Y, and I want you to videotape this. This will be really fun. And I want you to start at the lowest note you can sing that on and go every single half step all the way up to the very top. I want you to do a video of that, and then I'm going to teach you guys some more stuff about range. It won't be to make fun of you or to say you're the best singer in the world. Of course, if you are, I will admit that. I'm totally not offended. Okay, so do that, and if anyone else does that too, I got to come up with a prize. I'll come up with something that I'll give you free. Yes, I will. I'll give you something free as soon as I figure it out. Okay, so let me see if there are any other questions. Okay, Jordan's laughing at me. All right, that happens a lot, usually just because of this, but all right. If you want to know about Whistle, thevoiceclub.com/whistle. For the Voice Club Academy members, go there. Pretty soon the link will be active. That'll go to a special page with some more videos of when I'm teaching Whistle to an adult guy. And I'm also training a young lady who's past puberty now, and we've just uncovered Whistle for her. For those of you in the free group, I have a video of a younger female that we worked on to get Whistle, and she actually gets into Whistle she gets in purposefully to Whistle the first time in this lesson, and you get to see that video. So that should be fun. Do we only use fry in slow songs? Fry is a great way to close your chords, but that's a whole different video for the Academy. Fry, which is just that, you can use fry anywhere you want. We use fry a lot in blues, in soul, jazz, in pop. Sometimes if it sounds like an underdeveloped growl, it's fry. So fry goes everywhere. The only where, okay, I can't see. When do the vocal cords change after puberty? Why? Well, because you got to grow up sometime. You're not Peter Pan. Your muscles change. Everything in your body changes. Through puberty is the most dramatic shift of the whole body development. Everything gets that's why especially guys will shoot up a foot. They'll just be taller. It's because they're going through that phase where all the hormones are just saying, well, we better grow up now. And when that happens, the muscles that close and open your vocal cords are growing up as well. So those muscles are going to lengthen your vocal cords, all like your thumb. As your thumb grows, your vocal cords grow. And there's a certain point that your hands just don't get more bigger. Then you're done. It's just because we have to be adults. I mean, I don't know if you're there yet, but I'm going to visit really soon. Back to Faith's question, fry. You can use it anywhere. It's a wonderful styling tool, and it's really good for closing the chords, and that means stability. I will tell you guys this. If the first syllable of the first word of every song you sing, if you will start it with a little vocal fry, like Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I don't know. That's the only one I remember. We could go Somewhere Over the Rainbow. But if you go Somewhere Over the Rainbow, it's easier to go up. It feels more stable. It feels more secure. And that's because that fry gets the muscles to close the chords, and it becomes stable because it's on solid ground. So bonus fry tip. Leave more questions even after this video, because I'll be back again next Friday at 1:30 to answer somebody else's questions. Thank you, guys. Thank you for everybody who asked questions. If it's just you asking questions, I just answer your questions every week. I don't care whose it is. All right. Oh, real quick. Oh, I already mentioned. Never mind. I welcomed you. You are welcomed here, singers. I will see you next week.